the basic operations on the signals. I have discussed in the previous lecture the basic operations on the signal operation, basic operations on the signals. In the previous class, I have discussed the basic operations like time shifting, time reversal, and time scaling. These operations are on independent variable. Then another operations is amplitude scaling, multiplications, and additions. These are the operations on the dependent variables. In these basic operations, you have operations on the continuous time signals. These basic operations I have discussed in the previous lecture. Time shifting. Time shifting I have discussed in the previous lecture. You have taken any input signal xt. Simple. This is amplitude is 1 and this is the dependent variable time axis, and this is the amplitude axis, y-axis. Here you have shifted the input signal by 1 unit. Simply you have shifted the 1 unit, t minus 1. Thus shifting this input signal by 1 unit. This is called time shifting in the forward direction by delaying by 1 unit. This is called time shifting. Here you have delayed by 2 units. This is the very basic operation in signal processing. You have used the case of delaying. You have used the application of digital filtering applications. Like you have delay by using the filters. The basic delay element for the digital filter designing is represented by Z inverse. In the advanced class, in the digital signal processing, we are designing the digital filter. The basic building block of the digital filters you have represented by Z inverse. This is the delaying element, and this can be converted in the time domain manner. This can be represented as xt minus 1. This can be also represented by a simple linear constant differentiation. Here you are taking the xt, here this is yt. Simply you are taking the Z transform of this input signal. This can be also like Z transform means you are returning not the exact. You have Z transform is applicable for the discrete time signal. This is correction. The xn, taking the Z transform of xn, this can be written xz, and this is the Z transform of yz. Then this can be the transform function of this. Here this can yn upon xn, this can be written yz upon xz. Okay. Output upon input, then you have transform by using Z transform of the output upon input. This can be represented yz upon xz. This is called as a transfer function of a given system function. This is the basic elementary idea about how to design a digital filter by using these types of transforms. The Z transform is applicable only for the discrete time signal. Here you have basic knowledge about the signaling operations. How to perform the basic signaling operations in the graphical manner. How to shift the input signal by using delaying element, by delay by some electronic devices. Likewise, we have in the analog domain, analog signal processing case, we have delayed by some electronic devices like amplifier, we have filter. These are the devices. The delay, you have given the input and then some time you have given the output. The delay is main role. The response is delayed by using the considering the delay of the device. Likewise, in the digital circuits, likewise you have studied the digital gates. In sequential circuit, you have used the counter designing. There are various types of flip-flop or cascaded. Then you have find out the speed of the counter by considering the delay of each element, each flip-flop. In the case of synchronous circuit and asynchronous, these are the classification of the counter. You have studied in the digital electronic class. I have just given the example how to calculate the delay in the electronic circuit and what are the main role of the delay and what are the response for the any devices by considering the delay terms. You have given the digital era, that's why I have taken the digital circuit example. This is a very basic example. You have also used the counters in daily life. You have see the various counters in practical of life living. Counter is for the counting the number of hitting the websites. There are various types of applications of counter, counting the frequency, count in the digital circuit lab. There are various types of counters, Ripple counter, ring counter, Johnson counter. There are various types of counter. These are the class of the sequential circuit. That's why you have taken the counter example. These are the basic phenomena of the delaying element. Then next is the time reversal. You have also studied in the previous lecture. Time reversal is nothing but it is a folding of the input sequence. It is the time reversal. You have taken the input, you have also discussed in the previous lecture, just a quick revision of the basic concept of the in this time reversal. Time is a big time reversal. You have taken the input likewise. We have sequence 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is a given input and this is the time reversal of this input sequence. You have written x minus t. You have also discussed in the previous lecture. This is the folded version of this input. You have taken the mirror on this origin and this folded the input sequence in this manner. The patterns is look like -1, -2, -3 and -4. We have taken the amplitude is A. Here this is the amplitude is A. There is no change in the amplitude. There is scaling in a time. That's why this is a time scaling. This is the operation on the independent variable. That's why this is the transformations on the independent variable. You transform the input signal by folding this signal. Here the origin is set, changes. You are taking t by -t. Changing t is replaced by -t. Then this sequence is folded. This signal is folded. Are taking the mirror image. Next is the time scaling. Time scaling, you have, I think there are time expression, there are time scaling can be classified as time expansion and time compression. Scaling in the independent variable, there are two cases where, taking the example, if taken as, it can be expressed as taking any signal yt is equal to x80. is a generalized form. We have also it is a generalized mathematical expression. Here A is scaling factor. Here A is the scaling factor. If there are two cases, if A is greater than 1, take it. If A is greater than, it is the time expressor, is the time compression. If A greater than 1 है तो हम इस केस में टाइम कंप्रेशन होगा. मीन्स आपका जो सिग्नल है, मान लीजिए कोई यही इनपुट सिग्नल है, ठीक है, तो आपका वो कंप्रेस हो जाएगा. जो आपका ये 4 यूनिट तक जा रहा था वो 2 यूनिट तक रह जाएगा. ठीक है, ये आपका कंप्रेस हो जाएगा सिग्नल की लेंथ, जो आपका ये है ना, ठीक है, ये आपका कंप्रेस हो जाएगा. तो इसमें डिवाइडेड बाई 2 हो जाएगा, मान लीजिए आधा हो जाएगा. ये आपका 4 है तो ये हो जाएगा 2, हाफ हो जाएगा. तो आपका वो इस केस में आपका कंप्रेशन, जब A की वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन 1, मतलब आपके स्केलिंग फैक्टर मान लीजिए ये आपका 2 है. ठीक है, इस केस में हम अगर इस तरह से बात करें, A की वैल्यू XP 2P, ठीक है, स्केलिंग फैक्टर की वैल्यू क्या है, 1 से ज्यादा है, 2 इज ग्रेटर देन 1. इस केस में यहाँ पे क्या होगा, टाइम कंप्रेशन होगा. ठीक है, तो इस तरह के क्वेश्चन आते हैं कि यू हैव स्केच आउट द टाइम कंप्रेशन ऑफ गिवन इनपुट सिग्नल. y2 इक्वल टू x2t है, y2 इक्वल टू t/2. तो उस केस में उसका वेवफॉर्म क्या होगा, इस तरह का होगा. तो यू हैव बेसिक नॉलेज अबाउट दिस बेसिक ऑपरेशंस ऑन द स्केलिंग, शिफ्टिंग, रिवर्सल. तो दैट्स व्हाई देयर इज द केस ऑफ time compression. Here next case, if A is less than 1, this is called time expansion. There the next case is that time expansion factor. If A is less than 1, it is a time expansion. These are the two cases. These are the transformation on the independent variable. Likewise, similarly the basic operations on the dependent variables. You also know. Next operation is the amplitude scaling. Amplitude scaling. In this case, this is the operation on the dependent variable. You have taken the example, the amplitude scaling of the continuous time signal. Here you have taken the example y2 is equal to a into x2. This is expressed as this is the case of amplitude scaling. Here the amplitude of yt is time is equal to the time amplitude of xn. Here the a is the constant, where scaling factor is constant. The constant value is taken as 1, 2, 3. There is a scaling factor. All the operations in the amplitude scale. You have all the operations done in the amplitude y-axis. You are taking the example y2 is equal to 2 into xt. Likewise, similarly जैसे आपने कोई xt इनपुट सिग्नल दिया, उसका एम्पलीट्यूड स्केलिंग कर रहे हैं, मतलब 2 से मल्टीपल हो जाएगी. जैसे आपका उसकी वैल्यू एम्पलीट्यूड 2 है, तो मान लीजिए ये सिग्नल की आपका एग्जांपल के तौर पर हम कह रहे हैं 1 है, तो अगर ये आपका xt सिग्नल है, ठीक है, 0 1 2 3 and 4, ठीक। अब ये xt है, इसका yt आपको स्केच करना है, तो क्या आएगा 2 इंटू xt, क्या हो जाएगा 2 इंटू xt। We have scaled the input signal by multiplying the two scaling factor. The amplitude is increased, the scale by 2. The amplitude is scaled. This is called the amplitude scaling. अब कई केस ले सकते हैं, मान लीजिए इस तरह का इनपुट हो, -2 से +2 है, ये xt है, xt है। अब इसका yt इक्वल टू 2t 2xt कर देंगे, तो क्या होगा एम्पलीट्यूड स्केल बाय 2। इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस गेट में आते हैं। तो यू हैव टेकन दिस कैन बी आल्सो रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय द this is the scaling by 2, amplitude is scaled by 2u. So these are the basic operation on the dependent variable. Likewise, another operation on the dependent variable is multiplication, ठीक है। मान लीजिए कोई दो इनपुट सिग्नल हैं, उनको मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं, ठीक है, तो आपका वो मल्टीप्लिकेशन हो गया, ठीक है, और उनके जो एम्पलीट्यूड वैल्यूज हैं वो मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएंगे, ठीक है। यहाँ पे ये सब ऑपरेशन क्या है डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल पे, तो डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल क्या है ना, तो ये दिस इज द बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट, दिस इज ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ द डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, दैट वी रिटन इन द सिलेबस। Transformation is similar. The basic concept is the basic operation on the signals. ठीक है? That's why you have written in the book, many books, basic operation on the signals. In Oppenheim, written is the transformations concept. It's a standard book. Well known for this signal processing. That's why it's a standard concept, and there are various nomenclatures in many books. Basic operations, common operations. This is the basic operation on the. This is basic operation on the continuous time signal. The basic operation on the continuous time signal. Here these were all the example are the continuous time signal. You have taken all example of the continuous time signal. You have also done the homework part, the basic operation on the discrete time signal. You have write down basic operations. This is the assignment. Basic operations on discrete time signals. Basic operations on the discrete time signals. Similar concept, but the signal notation and signal behavior are changed. Signal representations are changed. You have represented in a discrete manner. You have x-axis is discretized, means you have taken the integer value. You have the t is replaced by n. And all the concepts are same. All the operations are the same, but the representations are different. Signal representations and the variables are changed. You have taken the t in place of n. You have the behavior is changed. Nomenclature is you have represented any signals in the sequence manner. You have represented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the integer value. Here you have represented, this is the amplitude. Here this is 1, this is 2, this is 1. Likewise, this is the sampling line sequence. This data is the any state you have in the sample 0, n is equal to 0, the x0 is 0. Here x1 value is 1, x2 पे आपके मान 2 है, x3 पे 1 है, x4 पे 4 है. You have defined the labels like 1, 2, this is 3, just like for example, you have taken the basic example. You have taken the example how to represent a discrete time signals in the graphical manner, how to plot the or how to represent the discrete time signals in graphical manner. You have represent x0 by the signal value. You have written this signal in this form. Xn, this can be represented in the sequence manner. You have x0, x1, x2, 0, and x4. You have taken the 3. This is the representation of discrete time signals in form of sequence. You have also know the basic representation of the signals in discrete manner. Discrete domain representation. You have also clear the basic concept. Representation of the signals is the elementary idea. How to represent the signal in various forms. Signal can be represented in tabular form, in sequence form, and in mathematical form. These are the basic representations of the signals. The signal can be represented in this manner. This is called sequence manner. In many cases, you have represented this arrow indicates there is the origin. This is bifurcating the pair. This is the left axis and right direction. The sequence can be defined in the terms of left-sided sequence or right-sided sequence or both. Here you have bifurcated the n is equal to 0. In the case of Z domain, Z transformation, the formula of Z transform can be written in the two forms. You have written the Z transform for the one-sided sequence and Z transform for the bilateral or both-sided sequence. Generalized formula of the Z transform you have also studied in the mathematics class. I have just revised the basic concept here. This is the power series expansion. Z transform is nothing but is a power series expansion. Here this formula is called as bilateral Z transform. This can be also written in another form. In finite duration and infinite duration, there are one more classification of the Z transform. Infinite sequence and both-sided sequence. Here this is the formula for the one-sided sequence, one-sided Z transform. The lower limit is 0, upper limit is infinite. Then more precise, you have written in the finite duration sequence. This formula is applicable for the infinite duration sequence. These are the basic concept of the jet transform. I have discussed in the next unit in the case of jet transform. I have discussed all about the jet transform properties, applications, and what are the silent feature of the jet transform, how it can be beneficial for the signal processing class, and what are the benefits of the jet transform in the digital design, digital filter design, and what are the application of the jet transform, more important application of jet transform. You have find out the pole zero, you have find out the causality of the sequence, you have find out the stability of the sequence, stability of the system, you have studied the linear time systems analysis. These are the basic concepts. That's why you have to study the jet transform. Jet transform you have also known in the mathematics classes, but in the class of signal system, signal processing, you have studied the application of jet transform in the display designing system. Means you have designed any filter, digital filter. That's why you have used the jet transform. You have jet transform used for the solving the difference equation, linear constant difference equation. That's why your jet transform is more important for the filter designing point of view. That's all. This is all about